Hey everyone, Josh here with J&T's Journey, and today we're going to be doing a review of the AllPowers R600 power station. Hey everyone, Josh here with J&T's Journey, and today we're going to be having a look at the AllPowers R600 power station. Now before we get started, full disclosure, AllPowers did send us this power station for review. However, all of the opinions in this video are our own. We had no obligation to provide a positive review or anything like that, and anybody who's watched our videos knows that we don't pull punches. If we don't like something about something that we've been sent, we're going to let you guys know. That being said, let's get into it. The full specs of this power station are available on the website. I will include a link in the description, but just to give you a quick rundown, this is a 299 watt hour, or it works out to be about 22-23 amp hour in the 12 volt terms power station from AllPowers. It comes inbuilt with a 600 watt inverter, but it will peak to 1200 watts for a very short period. It has a 10 amp 12 volt DC outlet, 200 watt USB-Cs, 2 USB-As, a light. It has a solar and DC-DC charging input and a wireless charging pad on the top. In addition to the standard power station, the unit comes with, as standard, a 240 volt charging cable. However, you can option the 12 volt cable, which will allow you to charge this from a cigarette lighter output, or they can be optioned with a 100 watt or a 200 watt solar panel that you can plug in for charging on the road. In order to charge the unit via solar, you just open up the panel on the end, and this is where your 240 volt main circuit breaker and your DC inlets are. You simply set the solar panel up, plug the solar panel into the port, and it will start charging via solar. Now, I am quite impressed with the SP027 100 watt solar panel that AllPowers have sent us. During charging in the morning light before the solar panel heats up, I have seen as much as 95 watts coming into this from the solar panel, and in typical conditions on a hot day we see around 84-85 watts. That puts the efficiency number for this solar panel well into the 80 to 90% mark, which is very impressive for a budget panel. Through that same port, you can also charge the unit via 12 volts with the optional 12 volt adapter. I will add the 12 volt adapter does not come with the unit as you purchase it from factory, and for that matter, neither does the solar panel. I have seen a little over 100 watts charging via this DC-DC cable. I will make you aware though, if you have a vehicle where the wiring is not quite up to scratch, this unit will draw quite a fair bit of current from your vehicle. For example, in the back of T's Jeep Wrangler, because we had to test this in her car because I don't actually have an accessory socket in Ruby, I wasn't able to get this unit to charge stably via the DC-DC, and I can only assume that that's due to the amount of voltage drop due to the thin wiring in the Wrangler itself. Charging from the socket in the front seat, however, I was able to get this unit charging quite stably, and it was charging at over 100 watts, which will see this unit fully charged from dead flat in about 3 hours. Charging from the mains cable, I found that when I first plugged the unit in, although it said it was 60% charged, it took about 3 hours to fully charge. So I think if these units have been sitting on a shelf for a while, or you've just purchased one, you can't rely on the percentage meter initially to be highly accurate. However, in all of my testing, once the unit is fully charged, I have found that the percentage meter on it is quite accurate. The solar panel itself is quite compact and light. It does come with a bag on the back that you can store all of the cables in, and certainly that's the approach we took. The solar panel does come with a few optional barrel connectors and accessories that will allow you to plug this solar panel into other stations. Now, if you're looking through the iOS store, and I can't comment for Android because we're not Android users, there are 3 separate AllPowers apps. This is a little confusing, and this is probably my first criticism. The original AllPowers app is an older version of the app. The AllPowers 2 app is the version of the app that you should be using with this power station, and I've been told that the AllPowers 3 app is the new beta release of their app that they're using for these. Now that we've had a basic overview of the unit, let's talk about what we do like and what we don't like with the unit. One of the things I do like is its size. It's nice, it's small, it's compact, it's easy to pick up, it's quite portable, it fits comfortably in the back of the car, and it doesn't take up too much space on the bench. The weight is, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's not too heavy. I think it's, for its size, it's about the right weight. One of the things that I really do like about the unit is the fact that you can put it anywhere. Now, we do have USB ports in our AVan, but we don't have extra USB ports in the back seat of the car, and we don't have extra USB ports in the back of T's car either. When we're in the back of the vehicle, we can just chuck this in the back between the seats, and the kids can plug their laptops, they can plug their iPads, they can plug whatever they want into it, and they can charge on the go. No modification to the vehicle necessary. If you're looking for extra USB, extra 240 volt outlets when you're off-grid in an AVan, and again, this isn't going to go running your microwave or your hairdryer, that kind of thing, but it will run your laptop chargers, that kind of stuff. At night, you can sit it on the bench, you can sit it up here. In our AVan, if we're using the extra USB ports that we've had fitted, we're kind of restricted to charging things on this bench or in very specific places around the camper. We can put this out in the annex if we want to, and the kids can charge their devices. That is a plus. The solar panel efficiency is up there with the highest efficiency solar panels I've seen so far. Seeing efficiencies of 80% up to 90% on the cheaper end of the solar panels is absolutely incredible. I think the solar panel for this unit is an absolute must. Now let's get into the things that I don't like. The unit's not perfect. There are a bunch of things that I don't like about this unit. The light here, for example, I love the fact that it's in the front, but when you turn the light on, you've got a constant on, you've got a bright constant on, and then you've got a flash sequence. But the problem is, the flash sequence is supposed to be SOS, but it's wrong. It has 2 short flashes followed by 4 long flashes. I feel like that's something that should be fixed. The output value here, while the unit's sitting here idling, it has a time to go, but there's no watt on the output. I'd love to see that output number include the self-consumption of the unit. When the unit is charging, this backlight doesn't stay on. I would love to see this backlight stay on for the duration that the unit is charging so that you don't need to pull your phone out and check the app or walk up and push the power button just to turn the backlight on to see what percentage the unit has gotten up to. The apps, they're really confusing. 3 apps in the App Store. Yeah, and the fact I had to reach out on the Facebook page to find out which app was the right one to use, yeah, not really a fan of that. There are things called Test Flight, and the older apps that are no longer relevant for use should really be removed from the App Store. And one final gripe about this, the thing that I don't like, when you're charging the unit via 240 volts with a cable plugged in, DC-DC or solar, the unit here gives you an estimated time to be fully charged. Now, while it is an estimate, it's not entirely accurate because the unit does ramp down as it gets close to 100%, which is normal for a lithium battery. It doesn't reflect the time to charging in the app while it's charging. Would like to see that as an improvement in the app. Now, there are a bunch of things that I would like to see this unit come with, future improvements, or things that you might like to consider. For the DC-DC charging, I would really love to see an XT60 to Anderson cable, and it is an XT60 for the input on this. I think the industry is moving towards Anderson connectors for all of your accessory stuff, and most DC outlets in vans, in cars these days, are moving away from the cigarette lighter style plug to an Anderson connector. I really think the DC-DC cable for this should be an Anderson, not a 12 volt accessory socket. The wireless charging pad on the top here is a hard plastic finish. I would love to see this rubberized. One of the problems that I do have with it is that if I sit my phone down on top of this to charge, because this is a hard surface, not a rubberized surface, it can slip and move and stop charging and catch you unawares. One final thing that I would like to see from the unit is a warning when the device is starting to run low on battery. As it stands, this unit will just run down to 0% and it won't give you any sort of warning. I would love to see some sort of beeping for 10 seconds or beeping for 20 seconds when the unit gets down to a low state of charge, and I think it would be awesome to have that level configurable via the app. Now, what are the things you need to be aware of? First of all, when you purchase this online, if you purchase it with the extra accessories, the solar panel and the unit will ship separately and you will get separate tracking numbers. The very first time you charge the unit, it will take a few hours. It will state that it's at 60%, it's not at 60%. By my maths, it was more like 10%. However, once the unit is fully charged the first time, it is then ready to go and the state of charge is accurate. The last thing to be aware of is you are not going to go plugging this into your camper. Most campers, when you plug them into 240 volts, the hot water service will kick on straight away. So even if you turn that off, the outlets on these are only 10 amp outlets. So you would need an adapter if you wanted to use this to try and supply the rest of the camper or your van. The other thing is the outlets are upside down. I don't quite know why. I'm sure there is a valid design reason for that, but I would have liked to have seen the outlets the right way up. So then, who do I think this unit is for? I think this would be great for people who are going camping in tents, small caravans, camper trailers, that kind of thing, who don't want to go drilling holes, putting a whole bunch of USB outlets in, or relying on an internal 240 volt system to charge a whole bunch of those things. I think it's great for small families if you've got kids with phones, iPads, lots of devices, content creators, charging cameras, all those kinds of things that you need to charge in the field that can be charged off USB, all those things that don't necessarily come with USB adapters and need to be charged off 240 volts. There you go. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the AllPowers R600 power station. Is it a power station that's going to make your AVan fully off-grid over the weekend? Probably not, but it is a power station that is going to be really handy if you want to run a low power hairdryer, hair straightener, or just have handy USB or 240 volt outlets wherever you want to go, wherever you do go. It might allow you to charge your phone in the AVan or your iPad or your laptop or all of those devices to give you a mild off-grid weekend without having to worry about putting too much stress on the battery internally within the AVan. The addition of the included solar panel gives you the ability to charge the unit up during the day while you're out exploring to come back to a fully charged power bank that then allows you to charge all of your devices overnight while you're sleeping. Thanks everybody for watching this video. If you are interested in getting one of these, please follow the link in the description. I'll also include a discount code below so that you can get 10% off one of these units and help the channel out in the process. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share our videos. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you can sign on as a YouTube member, and for just a few dollars a month, you can get early access to videos, priority access to comments, and more. Thanks for watching. I've been Josh with J&T's Journey. Cheers.